Hello, welcome. Focus on photography, not the isolation. My name's Phil Mynott. Today we're going to be talking about PHoGaN. P-H-O-G-A-N. It's a new word, phrase we've summed up, really, we've invented to cover what we're doing here over the next sessions here on our photography channel on YouTube. P-H-O-G-A-N. It's photography at home, in the garden and in your local neighbourhood. Today, as you can see, we've moved outside into the garden. Now, regardless of the size of garden, gardens of any description are always a photographer's dream. They all have something different to offer you, something you can capture, something you can put your heart into really and interpret in the way you see it. And of course the great thing about it is if you're photographing in your own garden, you're always quite near to the kettle, aren't you? Of course, if you're not lucky enough to have a garden, then you can always use a public garden, and there's always public flower beds and stuff like that you can get out and about in your neighbourhood to do. The whole trick is of what we're doing is though that you have to stay at home or to do it in your 1 hour of exercise you get each day, and hopefully improving your photography skills each day as you perhaps take on board a few of the tips, a few of the guidance I'm giving you as we go through this. The hardest part of any garden photography is deciding what not to photograph. So today we're going to look at capturing an essence or taste of the garden rather than looking at close-ups and how to capture single flowers or maybe bunches of flowers. We're going to be covering that in the next session or so, okay? So today we're just focusing on taking one single shot of your garden, the sort of shot where it transforms it into the place rather than the garden you see every day. It's a sort of garden which invites people in and they're going to look at that photograph and say, well, I really want to go and visit that garden. I want to see how talented that photographer is, of course. That's very important as well. So my tips for this are going to be how to explore different angles. So just don't go stand there. You walk into a garden, I'm stood here. What I need to do is either go up, go down on your knees, lie on the side if you have to, perhaps get some step ladders and climb up to those and then look down onto the garden. Always look for contrasting shapes and contrasting tones and colours. And where possible, use a longer lens. Now, if you haven't got sophisticated camera and you're not sure what a longer lens is, basically it means rather than you move into the subject, you make the lens or the camera do the work. So if you've got a telephone, perhaps you're photographing on your mobile, what you need to do then is just to pull the screen in a little bit, put your fingers on and just pull the image up so it's brighter in the scene for you. And if you've got a compact camera, basically you want the lens out as far as it can go. Okay, it's quite a simple way to do it. Now the reason we use a longer lens on a small part of garden, it has the effect of bringing some of the plants into focus. So the idea is some will be in focus and then the background will be out of focus, or if you focus on something further back, the foreground will be out of focus, leaving a more gentle and romantic feel to the whole picture. Try to frame your picture with branches or other parts of plants, or even if there's some solid structure, sculptures or something in your garden. By sculptures, you know, it could be a plant grower plant type thing, or it could just be a deck chair or something like that. It doesn't have to be a sophisticated, big, expensive installation to make it work for you. The whole point is though, as I said before, you've got to have a point of focus. You've got to have something where people are looking in that picture and they're drawn to look at it all the time. Usually works better if you can keep the lighter coloured parts of a picture towards the back, because that way the eye is always drawn towards a highlight. So if you've got a black bang in the middle, it's okay if you want to contrast things against it, but if it's bang right in the middle and there's a big area of darkness, it could look like something's missing, and people are wondering, it's going to look like half a picture for you as well, okay? And also you can use other bits in the garden. If you've got pets wandering around or children, incorporate them in the scene as if they're enjoying the garden, yeah? So you don't want them looking at the camera because this is a picture about the garden rather than the person you've got included in your picture. So maybe if you're in the park and there's somebody doing something in the distance, you could take a picture of them, yeah? They've got a kite maybe, or cycling, whatever. Of course keep your distance. The final tip I'm going to give you is you mustn't worry, okay? If it's sunny or if it's cloudy. Soft light will expose more detail for you, so you'll be able to see the more detail in the plants, but it won't look as dramatic because there won't be any shadows, because shadows, we learned in the first session, shadow will help give you depth to your picture. And I'm sure if you look behind me now my face is probably, because the sun's come out, my face is probably in shadow, doesn't look too great, but behind me the garden has probably got quite a lot of depth there, because you can see pools of light and then pools of shadow as well. So your challenge is to go and take a picture of your garden or open space. Just one picture we're looking for, the sort of picture perhaps which someone who's been to that place before will look at it and say, oh yeah, I didn't know it looks like that, that looks really good, I want to go there. It invites the person in, it invites the person to look there. If you were photographing a garden for a magazine, you'd always do a few sort of GV, general view pictures, and the idea is it sets the scene for people and it makes people want to step in further to read the feature or watch the feature if it's on television. You can send me your pictures once you've done those if you wish. You can email them to me at philip@philmynottphoto.co.uk, or you can find me on Facebook and you can send them to me that way, and then we can include them in the next video we're doing as part of the series. So in the next session, we should hopefully be outside again, and we'll be looking more specifically, as I mentioned at the beginning of the program, flowers in close-up, and I shall be telling you how you can get the best out of them, whether it's overcast or whether it's sunny. So as I said at the beginning, you've been sending in your pictures to us, which is great, so we're going to leave you with a montage of your pictures, and we're going to play to some special music which has kindly been composed just for us. It's a new piece of music. So until next time, get out there, start taking pictures, stay safe, and remember, there's no such thing as bad light, just bad photographers. Bye bye.